Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at BTC against its USDT pair. Thank you for watching this video, and if you'd like to show your support, please smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to comment with any feedback you may have below, and while you're down there you can find a link to the Discord. There's a lot going on in here. It's going to get even busier with Joe now out of the military. It's going to be just going off off the wire down there. So just come and have a look. If you land in there and you end up in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff and we'll be happy to help you out. Also in the description below, you'll find an affiliate link to BYBIT. This is one of the best exchanges in our opinion, whether you want to leverage trade or just spot trade. It really is a great exchange. Okay, so let's get into this price action. We've had a little bit of a dip overnight. Um, Still nothing to get too alarmed for. So I'm still looking at this in potentially two ways, that we could be looking at developing either a bigger impulsive structure to the upside, as we've got denoted here, or potentially that we could just be forming a corrective structure. So the reason why I'm thinking we could still see some upwards potential is if we have a look at the stochastics here, everything is the lower time frames, the 1 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour, all sitting in this oversold area. So it could be indicative that we're going to have a move to the upside. So if I jump back down into here, this is potentially looking at this. We can see now within this channel line, we have this 3 touch points at the bottom now. Whether it holds or not is uncertain yet. It's still early days. There's a lot of things that can happen off of this move that could look to break it. But basically what we'd be looking for within this move here is that we potentially have a 1-2 and a 1-2 here. So the thing about this is if this is correct, we would want to start seeing some impulsive progression to the upside here, and that would that would break this look to break this channel more than likely if that's the case. If it because the ideal impulsive trigger for this area here is this 19,138 level. So basically we would want to start seeing a move above that. Um, we want to come back up, take this top at this 17,421 area, and then look to progress up in a impulsive structure. Failing to do so could just bring us into this previous support zone that we have here on the left hand side. So this, if I zoom out on the 4 hour, there's probably a bit more evidence. So everywhere from basically between this point here at, let's get a price tag on that, 17,614, all the way up to this high point here of around sort of 17,000 or 19,000. That there's going to be a lot of resistance in this zone. So it's possible that we could look to make a bigger impulsive move and look to test some of these higher levels within this range. But I'm worried that if we don't start to see some momentum coming off the back of these moves, then this bullish potential starts to feel, it starts to lose its oomph, because basically what you want is you want a 1-2, 1-2, and then you want to see this third wave of third start to progress. It wants to be quite steep. It wants to have a lot of volume. So if we fail to see that, then it could be indicative that we're going to be seeing some further downside. So this 1-2, 1-2 situation that we've got set up here is only relevant so provided we stay above the 16,000 area. Otherwise, basically, if we lose this low, then this 1-2 situation can't happen, and we'd have to just look at this as an A wave or a completed A, B, and a C to the upside. So that's what we're looking out for there. If I jump back down on these smaller time frames, we can see that we could potentially have a little bit more to go on this, because if I pull a fib off this top level, basically what we have is, so this is measuring the distance of this first wave and then projecting it down again. So the 1-to-1 brings us to the 16,606 area, and basically that would be a 1-to-1 of this first move here. A move down past the 16,280 area would actually make this rather a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So basically we'd be expecting an additional fourth and fifth wave off of if we cross this 1.618 line. Though we would have to just await confirmation of the fourth wave zone before looking for that continuation to the downside. For the most part now, there's nothing really indicating that this has to go much lower. We can count within this move that we could have a completed, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and that could be completed there. Like I said, the stochastics are in the oversold region, so it's probably going to get a bounce here. So it's where this bounce goes that's important. If we can manage to reclaim this zone here of 17,142, then basically we can eliminate any potential of this of becoming a 1 and a 2 like this, and then looking to progress to the downside. Failing to do that, we'd have to be cautious. It's probably going to be around about the previous support we had here at 16,908 to 16,963 area is a typical rejection area within those zones. It can go as high as a 17,073, but that would be an area I would be looking out for. If we move back into there and then face further rejection, it's possible we could be heading towards this 16,208 area. So if I switch over here quickly to this chart here. Sorry. Okay, let's get this full screen. There we go. So this one's just looking at this move as a potential completed ABC to the upside over here. And what we need to be aware of is that what this could look to become like a double zigzag and move to the upside again in an additional zigzag here. So what we would be wary of there is that we could be looking at this whole move here as an A or as a W wave, and then we could look potentially to move up to a 1-to-1 level of this 18,784. So this would bring us right up into this typical rejection zone, and basically, I'd be looking out at this 18,938 area. That would be a 618 retracement of this move to the downside. So if we have that, then it's quite likely we're going to get rejected off of that and then carry on our move to the downside in another 5-wave move. So that is what we're looking out for. This can potentially come down lower. If this channel breaks, basically what we'd be looking at is, so like I said, at a 1-to-1 this could come slightly lower, but the internal waves are indicating that it could be completed there. So if I pull this fib here quickly and we come in a bit closer, basically what we'd be looking for is potential that we could face rejection again in this zone. So if I just mark this up, so this would be between the 17,313 to the 17,046 area. If we have an ABC back up into this zone here, maybe test this high point here, or maybe we don't even get that high and we only retrace to this 382 area. What we could be looking at is the potential for having a bigger move to the downside, and that would potentially look to target out the support zone here between 16,417 and 15,738. And basically what we'd be looking for then is this to be potentially, if I go to that 618 area which we had here, let me just line it up with that C wave. So if this becomes a bigger ABC and we get a retracement up here to the 618 area, then what we could be looking at is potential for moving up and targeting this and then coming back down and testing this 50% area. So that would be 50% of this entire move here. So that would be something that we're looking out for here, whether we see a double zigzag or potentially just an A, a B, and then a 5-wave move. Would be looking towards this zone. Moving back above the 17,420 4 area would indicate to me that we are progressing this next leg to the upside, and would have to monitor that to see whether it has impulsive structure or if it's just going to be an additional zigzag, and then we're just going to have this as a double zigzag to the upside. If both of these options become invalid, if we start to be move down and become impulsive and cross below this 15,476 area, if we start to do that, then basically what we would be looking for is additional leg down, and based off of this previous leg here, I'd be looking for so if we go into this low point here, and if we take it to there, we could be talking about at a 1-to-1 a drop of around 12,580. So that's what we need to just be aware of, is that though we are showing some strength at the moment, and for as long as we hold above this 15,600 476 area, and alternatively this 15,995 area, there is potential for some bullish action here. Though we need to bear in mind that we 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 have a lot of resistance above us, and this move could just be short-lived, and then we look to continue down, because though the smaller time frames are looking good, we can see here that the daily is still overbought. So we just need to bear this in mind. Another thing that we also need to bear in mind is we still potentially could have a triangle within this move. So it's another thing that we're just looking out for. Basically, we've got the potential that this is an a B. We formed a C wave, and then we're looking to form this D wave here. So we'd want that to be in a 5 wave move first, and then basically form into a bigger zigzag. It is possible that we could have a smaller triangle developing here, and basically that this would complete our D wave. We look for a smaller E wave to the upside, and then that would be complete. But I wouldn't want to rush into calling this a triangle like this, because basically, so moving back above the 17,424 area would invalidate this as a triangle like this anyway. So we just need to bear in mind that we could see a deeper leg if it does develop into a triangle, where this is just a 1-2, and then we make another 1-2 here, and then we start to fall off, and then make a 5-wave move, and then an additional 3-wave move to the upside, and come target down these lower zones here, possibly towards this 15,738 area, or maybe some of these lows over here to this left hand side. Okay, so I want to say thank you for everyone for watching the video, and if you enjoyed it and haven't already, please smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't. This really helps us out. I hope everyone has a great day, and until we meet again, keep safe out there.